Hey detectives, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we confiscated some drugs from Kuno's dad, refused to give them to Kuno, he hates us now, and we read a bunch of books, and now we are finally ready to go and advance the main story by confronting Ruby. Alright, well from here there's really only one thing to do, I think. Alright, figurines, Ruby. Yeah. Let's go confront Ruby. It is at last time. Hold on, before we go any deeper, let's, oh no wait, we've been through this part, right? Oh, it's right there. Hold on. Money. Money. Polar anoric. Concrete pipe buried in sand and dust. Okay, alright, hold on. I think we'd better be prepped for this, which probably means armor. All of the armor. Layers and layers of polyvinyl and artificial sheepskin make this coat ideal for traversing snowy plains on dog sledges. Somehow, you knew it would be waiting for you underground in a sunken pipe, and you found it. It's as if the city gifted it to you to keep you safe. What am I missing? Do I have all the armor on now? No, pants. Did I ever get the pants? I guess I didn't, huh? Was I supposed to get the pants somewhere? Oh, I'm not missing pants, I'm missing a helmet. Can't have gotten it yet. Furious Gauntlets Greaves it is. Okay. And then, let's see here. Let's just go ahead and have the gun in hand. Just in case, yeah? What does this do for me? Minus empathy, plus volition and pain threshold. As opposed to the regular shirt, which has, where the hell did it go? Oh, I've been wearing this. Lost logic. Okay, that's not a big deal.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse.
Say this the shadowy figure by the machine.
Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways.
Try to cover my
No,
ears.
buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones.
I see.
Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
You're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
She turns the dial on her hand.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
What the hell is
I'm
happening?
using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Oh. So your equations is the ULAN frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
Okay.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
He gestures towards something with great effort.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
Why is she so calm about this?
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
How'd you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
She nods toward her torture device.
And she's proud of it too. As she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, way beyond.
She studies her death ray and the law officials trapped in it. Have you experienced it yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Well, this is all great, but am I gonna stay here forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
Yeah, none of that means anything to me. Can we talk about the dead guy?
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops. And of herself merely as prey.
Can we please turn it down a little and ask a few questions?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Looking for a deal on mattresses?
Then this.
The lieutenant clutches his head, grimacing.
God damn it.
She regards you and Kim with sudden sympathy.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She steps reluctantly out of the shadows. Pain lessens.
The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon.
Noted.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
How'd you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Why hide the bullet?
This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
Yeah, it was your girlfriend. She cracked.
She didn't crack. She's a survivor. If she told you anything, it was to save herself. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Your first guess wasn't entirely off.
Titus and his boys, man. He told us you were on the coast.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck did the rest of you get by?
Wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? Can opener? It's not personal. I opened a bell.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
I do it by asking questions, and I have some for
Like
you.
what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
You have an alibi for when she was shot?
Man,
Or he was
I
shot?
was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
Well, they did say you left to take a really long leak, 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man. Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time.
Hold on, nobody takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar.
She speaketh truth.
Well, our investigation has shown 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why?
Well, there's a secret way from the bar to the roof.
Don't know it. But also,
She frowns, studying your face.
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
the shot couldn't have come from the roof. Or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
Payne stops him from finishing the sentence.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
You leave any flowers for Klasya on the roof?
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
Symbols of revolution.
So
though.
now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on.
Alright, so no Maybells.
No, I did not.
You're running drugs for the Union. I've been through the lorry.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
Maybe twist the knife, just in case. Make her more desperate.
Yeah, I got him to talk.
Yeah, that figures. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
You had a financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
The lieutenant is unable to articulate his question.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
She turns the knob down just a millimeter.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
She responds, holding the case. You like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about the antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Not the only reason you hung out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
So you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Did you say Lily was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
Did you feel protective of the Union, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I don't think she's perjuring herself.
I'm listening.
Let's take a
Yeah?
step back.
Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Pretty high chance, but who do you reckon killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
So what happened according to you Sunday night?
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
He struggles to finish the sentence.
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasha comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Thus you said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Came up with a plan pretty quickly.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Yeah, I could believe she would lie about that. Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone.
I can believe that Klausy came up with the faking the murder idea. That would be very in character, I think.
She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
She lied to you about that, too.
Showerhead. Resourceful.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
You think she did it then?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried the lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
So if you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
Okay.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
What do you mean, La Puta I mean, okay.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon.
Oh wait, my boss's
Human
nickname is
can
that?
opener.
I see. It's
Through
not doing so
a
good.
sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Well, if you know that about me, you gotta know my real name, right?
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
Oh, I'm supposed to be corrupt. That's what she's implying. I
So
see.
she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time.
For my previous persona, it would be
All
believable.
of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
I've heard of La Puta Madre. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke? or a threat? I'm guessing both.
Well, I'm supposed to know about this, but I happen to have lost my memory lately.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
Not
I'm
surprising.
sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What'd you do to him?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Anybody with me when I came into
Yeah,
town?
you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who's in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady.
What the hell?
The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
Am I actually corrupt? What the hell is this? What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying.
Okay, hold on. We met 2 of them in the bar, right? But those were just cops, not
That sound about
gang
right?
members, I think.
No idea who these people are, literally.
Nope, doesn't ring any
Well,
bells.
This has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
You happen to know about the bunker next door.
What bunker?
The communist hideout back there.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Her voice trails off into white noise in your head. Feels like an aneurysm approaching. Oh boy.
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
Well, let's do it. Feel like shit would be stopping me from doing this. This isn't exactly a sprint.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
You okay, Kim?
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh shit! Jesus Christ! What the hell are you doing?
Problem solving.
Problem
Ma'am.
solving?
Put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
This is not the solution to your problem. I really wish I could save mid-convo.
You should know the words to say.
Uh-oh.
You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you?
Why am I standing here like an idiot?
Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain. Her finger squeezes the trigger now.
I was drunk. I didn't mean it.
A smirk crosses her face
Jesus
as she watches
Christ.
you stand there, mute. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger. You watch as
Why?
her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
What the fuck, Ruby? Why the hell did she do that?
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois. Control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me. You can't let this break you.
This is on her. I don't even
There is
understand her
no
motivations
coming back from
entirely.
this one. It will stay with you in nightmares.
Oh, God.
Fuck!
Alright. Now what?
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
Tent? Yeah, well, how? Oh, we're in the ocean down here? Alright. Well. Knocked away A80 pepper box pistol. Eight for y'all. Cooking utensils. She's prepared herself porridge with bananas. Brewamine. A lot of health. Dark water trails into the distance. There is no way out.
I'm not gonna reload to try to save her or anything. That's on her.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out. You see a rolled-up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
Alright.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Agreed. Oh, I didn't go check out the spot on the coast. I should do that. Okay, well, journal first. Well-loved journal with a brown leather cover, and the brand name Schneller embossed on the back. So it seems to have served as a loyal friend to a weary traveler.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She had good taste and must have taken what she recorded here seriously.
Alright, unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The
Handwriting?
large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Okay. Flip through.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Kind of logistics.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Sure.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism.
Yeah. Diagrams.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them.
How far back do they go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What'd she write when Nellie died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely.
Not very helpful, really.
She is referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense?
Could be. Anything about La Puta
That
Madre?
name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Okay.
Great. M's peon is coming to
Oh,
town.
maybe, yeah.
No doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
Most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed.
This is her personal journal. Doesn't sound like she did it, yes.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one, he thinks. Don't get emotional.
So tidy. Alright, what do you mean
By
framed?
the Hardy Boys? By Classier? By us?
Am I really an agent for La Puta Madre?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
Doesn't really feel like it. I mean, it's as far as I can ever tell, I was a pretty straight and narrow hardcore cop before I became a super drunk addict, alcoholic, etc. But when I was in the super drunk addict alcoholic phase, I wasn't at, you know, an effective become a corrupt legend sort of status either. I was just failing.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
Alright, what do we think did it then?
Could have been Titus. Then again,
Nobody heard the shot.
maybe there's a Hardy Boy we've yet to meet who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Agreed. Okay. Should probably figure that out, yeah. Put some points into, maybe put a point into endurance finally, huh? Our physical durability's not very good. Alright, well, finally some developments, and then we're pretty much headed straight after the main case now, but that's going to be it for today. So, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.